So TJ Catino, on behalf of 625 Investments. I've been investing on behalf of 625 Investments since 2012. Prior to that, I was a auditor here in Boston in the financial services industry, auditing hedge funds with a specialty in capital allocations. In 2012, we started 625 Investments to extrapolate on the relationships and business network that we had, and Ackerman was one of those core early relationships that we knew and that we began investing with. And our investing strategy included real estate and venture and private equity and growth equity. Over the last decade, we've invested with over 30 different investment partners. We have over 100 individual investments in either funds or companies or assets. And I think we've invested in almost every Ackerman investment opportunity since 2012. And it's one of our highest performing groups and managers within our portfolio. So that's kind of our background. Our family is originally from Cincinnati, and we participate in a lot of different business activities throughout the area in New England. Yeah, I think it comes down to discipline. That's the discipline and expertise, experience, right? Those are things where, and a recognition of what you're good at, rather than kind of seeing the shiny lights of kind of being able to raise a bunch of money. Ackerman Group and Dobbs have always been a significantly more disciplined investment group, right? As asset allocators, we're always looking for where to invest capital for the best long-term return, and those goals are aligned with Dobbs and the Ackerman Group, both from a investment philosophy and from even a taxability perspective, especially for taxable investors. And especially on an institutional scale, most institutional investors are not managing to a taxable investor. That doesn't mean that those aren't good investment strategies, and it doesn't mean that Dobbs and Ackerman Group is better than those other groups because they do manage to a taxable investor. But it does make a difference for an institutional taxable family who wants long-term disciplined management of their capital in ways that adheres to kind of the philosophy and the goals of the people that work at that firm as well. So it's been a unique experience throughout the decade of working with Ackerman, and a relationship we couldn't be prouder of.
Leadership team.
Yeah, I think it's top notch. I think the communication has always been above average to excellent. There's a commitment to within the firm of continual improvement, and that's not just on the asset management side, but that's also on the administration, on the organizational. I know that it's one of the big things that makes Ackerman Group special is the people, and that sounds so cliche, but there is an emphasis on building an organization that has an alignment of values and goals, and everyone at the firm takes on that kind of mode of operation, right? So from a technology standpoint, the communication, the reporting is all on par with larger institutional managers that we work with, and at the same time, it's not overly it's not so voluminous that you can't keep up, right? It's the right amount of information for investors trying to make investment decisions at the levels that we're trying to make them. It's not more, it's not less, but that doesn't mean that you can't always get more, right? I think that's one of the hallmarks and one of the nice things about working with a firm like Ackerman. It's not you're not just a numbered investor. You can always call, and there's always someone who's eager, quite frankly, to try to get you up to speed and give you the information that you want, because the transparency with Ackerman Group and the way they conduct things is just top notch. So yeah, I think individually our IRRs for all of our Ackerman investments are in the low 20% over the last decade, and that's on a pre-tax basis. On an after-tax basis, I think those returns are actually better. And the nature of the investments that Ackerman executes, because of the disciplined approach they take, the characteristics of the investments, from the cash flow to the refinancing to the ultimate liquidation of the asset, should that become something that's preferable, that's something that really defines the discipline and the experience that Ackerman has. Each one of those processes is meticulously thought out, planned, executed, and that's, I think, a big piece of where those returns come from. Is it's that adherence to the discipline. Sometimes it may take an investment period or a cycle, a business cycle, but they're always looking for what that best next decision is, and rarely have I seen, never have I seen the Ackerman Group make a decision that wasn't in the best interest of the shareholder and the community in which they were investing in. Right, we are good partners to the community as well, and I think that's that full spectrum of how do we make great places for people to live while we make great returns for our investors, is a very unique thing within our industry and within investment managers in general.